I hope you guys are ready for a fun and uplifting show. Today we're talking to Reed Preston from Preston Hemp Company. I'm so excited to share this interview with you because his company is a testament to hard work, friendship, and a bit of spontaneity. It's really just what I needed in this time of uncertainty and self-doubt. Not only that, Preston Hemp Company is a company I can get down with. I'm talking about small growing practices, ethical production, not to mention an owner who is funny as you know what. We're going to be talking about CBD pre-rolls, CBD bubble hash, and Delta 9's tranquil cousin, Delta 8. But before we get started, I have to apologize for something. The audio quality, and it is 100% my fault. I was having issues with my mic and earphones that day and did not even know it till the interview was done. But this episode was just too good not to share. I know you're going to enjoy it, and stick around to the end and I'll tell you how to get 10% off at PrestonHempCo.com.
Yeah, so Preston's actually my last name, and came up with it about 2 years ago on the way to a expo up in Portland. One of my buddies was like, hey man, you gotta come up to this expo, and I'd never been to like a cannabis hemp expo before. And he actually like tracked me down. I was up at one of the spots that we were growing on a couple years ago, and we don't get cell reception out there, so he like came up and just like found me on the farm and was like, dude, you gotta come. He was driving from San Francisco, so like 6 hours away, and he came and just came up to the farm and was like, dude, you're coming with us, come on, just get off the farm. And I was like, dude, I can't, because he knew, I think he knew I wouldn't go unless it was that scenario. So anyway, he picked me up and was like, we're going. So I called my girlfriend. I was like, hey, we're going to Portland. We're going to this expo. And she's like, what about the farms? What are we going to do? I was like, they'll be fine. Everybody's got it under control. And kind of just hopped in the car. And like on the way to the expo, I was thinking, I was like, dang, like I'd like to have like a company, like, I mean, I technically do, I do a lot of wholesale. Like that's been my main focus is wholesale. But I was like, I want to have some sort of brand. I want to have business cards or something to pass out to people. I don't want to just be at an expo without, anything. So it was super last minute, and I was just thinking, I was like, what could it be? And the easiest thing, first thing that popped to mind was just my last name. I was like, I'll just make it Preston Hemp Co. So like on the way, literally on the drive, I called a friend and had her make up some business cards, and I got them printed out on the way and got some like shirts and hats made up that were able to be picked up in Portland the next day for the expo. So we went to the expo, and we all had some shirts and hats and business cards, and there's just like, it all started there, and that was it. Yeah, exactly. Obviously I didn't plan anything out. I had no like process into, what was going to go on, how it was going to all form together. But before that had happened, one of my best friends had actually made like a website for me for my birthday, because it's a really good friend of mine, and he's in web and app development. So he'd had that set up, but I still didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just knew that I wanted to get into the retail side of hemp one day and be able to hit that, that market. But I had no clue how I was going to get there or where, how to make it all possible. And I'm still figuring all that out, that it's all a learning process. So
yeah, you guys have got some really cool products on your page.
Okay. One thing, well, our products, we've got several different products. Mainly our first primary focus was smokable hemp flower, because that's the easiest. That's what we do. We grow it, and so we sell from an eighth all the way up to pound online. And actually right now we've sold out of all the product that we grew this year. So we've been sourcing from other local farms that have similar growing practices. So that's a good thing that, we're pretty small scale. We're not really able to compete with the other big, larger scale farmers that are able to produce and like wholesale their product for very cheap. So hitting the retail market has been really important for me to be able to basically survive in the industry. So smokable flower, and then We just recently released Delta 8 THC carts, which
Yeah.
Delta 8 is pretty cool. It's very similar to Delta 9, but it's got a different high. It doesn't give you like anxiety or paranoia. So people have been a big fan of that. And it's a great product. So yeah, we do our pre-rolls as well, which we do still do our pre-rolls with our cherry wine that we grow here. I keep enough of that to keep the pre-rolls going year round. And then we've got a muscle rub as well. Muscle rub. We sell isolate, which if you guys don't know what isolate is, it's basically what's used to make every CBD product that's out there on the market, like anything that's consumable or topical. So we sell that so people can, play around and make their own products at home, like bath bombs or whatever. You can put it in food. You can put it in your dog's food, cat food. Oh, we do bubble hash, CBD bubble hash. So that was kind of a hard one because it's hard to get the hash to like a compliant level to be able to sell it legally. So we played around with that for a little while and we got the THC levels down in it to be able to sell that. So not many people have like caught on to it yet. I think it's kind of an old school thing. I don't think people, a lot of like my generation at least, or even really smoke hash or know about hash much, but I know that there's a market for it and it's just, we've got to find it. I personally love the hash. I actually don't smoke THC. A lot of people think that I smoke weed, but I don't smoke weed. I enjoy smoking CBD. And the Delta 8 actually I have been enjoying recently. Normal, like traditional weed just gets me too high.
Wow.
So
Tell me the
yeah.
difference between hash and this bubble hash and a traditional flower for smoking.
So hash is usually made from trim, and it's a solventless extract. So you're not putting any chemicals in it. You're not putting it with like isolate or not isolate, sorry, isopropanol or anything to wash the material. And it's you use micron bags actually, and ice and water. You get the water really cold with ice, and then basically just you just wash it. So like we've got these little washing machines. They're like little 5-gallon washing machines, and it's literally just like they're actually, I think they're Chinese washing machines. They're like literally made for people that are living in like small apartments that don't have like a standard size washing machine. So you could put like a couple shirts in it or whatever and wash them. But there's a company called Bubble Magic that makes them, and they make them specifically for hash. So you literally just put ice, water, and your trim in there, and you turn it on for like 20 minutes, and then it's got a drain valve. So then you drain that out into like a micron bag, and then whatever's left in that micron bag essentially is your hash. There's a couple layers of bags, and the top one you take out, and you take the trim out, and then under that will be your next layer of micron, and that's where you'll have the hash. And then you shake it around, get all the water out, and then you've got hash in there, and you let that dry.
Now, what's the difference between smoking that and smoking bud?
So smoking hash it's more potent. So our hash right now is 35% CBD, when normal flowers anywhere from 10 to 20% CBD. And so yeah, hash it's in terms of like smoking it, it's got higher levels of CBD, and then you can put it in like a pipe and smoke it. It burns really slow. You don't need much of it, so that's definitely a difference. Like if you were to smoke like, I don't know, if you were to smoke like a joint, you could add it into a joint. You could put it in a pipe. You can also cook with it too, which is cool. You can make edibles.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the difference between smoking CBD and smoking marijuana?
The difference between smoking CBD and smoking like traditional cannabis, THC. CBD is mainly going to give you more of the medicinal benefits that you would get from smoking weed. So all weed has some CBD in it, and a lot of people don't know that. But your traditional cannabis will have some CBD in it, and a lot of the effects that you're getting from that cannabis that you're smoking come from the CBD. So essentially smoking CBD, it'll give you like a light, mild, like a a little buzz. I'm not sure if you've smoked CBD before, but it gives you like a little buzz if you don't smoke for like maybe 10 minutes. Nothing crazy, like you're not gonna freak out. And then after that, it's really like a nice body high. It relaxes all your muscles, helps people sleep. It has all sorts of medicinal benefits that we can't claim, are medicinal, but they're there. Anxiety, paranoia, insomnia, again, muscle pain. Like depending on the strain, they all help with different things. And then the main thing is you're not just getting super stoned, like you're not getting all in your head, and you're able to function.
Right.
Which is a big thing for me.
Is the Delta 8 similar?
So Delta 8 is pretty similar. You will definitely get stoned though. So you'll get you'll basically get the same feeling as if you were smoking traditional cannabis. Like you'll get stoned, you'll be funny, whatever, but still able to function if you're not like an avid smoker, and just without like the paranoia or anxiety. Depending on how much you smoke, like with the carts, we recommend like if it's your first time trying them, take like one like 5-second pull of one, and then see how you feel. If you're sitting there hitting it like you hit it 5 times within 30 minutes, you're probably going to be pretty high. You can definitely overdo it. But yeah, like it's definitely different from just CBD. Yeah. So we try to, use all natural farming practices. Like we use fermented plant juices from KNF, Korean Natural Farming, practices. So we try and do that to feed, and then anything else that we've got to buy or purchase to, use for the plants, we always buy organic. We're not certified organic. It's quite a long process to become a certified organic farm here in Oregon. So we're working towards that, but as of right now, we're using, everything we can to stay organic, and yeah.
So you have all these extracts from your flower, and you have these cartridges. Now, is that something that you guys process yourself, or do you send your flower away, it gets processed, and then comes back? How's that work?
Yeah, so I've got some friends with labs around here, and they've already been producing, Delta 8 THC. We do process our hash in-house. We make the hash here, but the Delta 8, we just send our trim to a lab, and then they process it into a crude oil, which is then turned into the distillate, which goes in the carts. So we don't process our carts in-house. But yeah, sometimes depending on the time of the year, like at the beginning at the beginning of harvest season, it's pretty hard to get in with those labs. Like they're full for the most part. I do have some buddies that, worst case scenario, I'll source distillate from them if there's a wait list to get my product ran through, because everyone's got product at that time and is trying to just do something with it and get it into labs. So, yeah, but for the most part, all of our material goes into any of the products that we have. And like I said, right now we're out of our flower, so I've been sourcing from a local farmer who uses similar practices. A big hit is the pre-rolls. Everybody loves the pre-rolls. If you're not into smoking and you want to try and get some of the benefits from CBD, I'd recommend starting with an isolate or our muscle rub. If you've got, muscle pain, your knees, any of your joints or anything, you rub some of it on and it works wonders. And the Delta 8, if you're trying to get, a little bit stoned on a legal level, the Delta 8's great.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and check it out. If you're a first-time purchaser at PrestonHempCo.com, you can get 10% off your entire order. Just enter PHCFAN 2021 when you check out. So check them out and support small farms and sustainable practices. Catch you in the next episode.